Okay, hi everyone. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar. My name is Sushant and I'm from the Gocharting team. And first of all, I would like to thank FYERS for inviting us again to kind of brief you everyone on all the improvements that we have been trying to introduce into the platform based on, again, feedback coming from you guys. So we have a very active channel on Discord that we kind of leverage to kind of gather and solicit all kinds of feedbacks that you've been giving us. And so from the time somebody would have seen OptionDesk 3 months ago and seeing it now, you would have seen a lot of changes, a lot of things happen here. So I thought it would be a good time to kind of take a step back and recap everything that we have done and also set the expectations on what you can expect from this platform in the future, right? So what are the new features that we are going to talk about? So again, the whole platform is again powered by the world-class APIs from FYERS, okay? And probably the only platform today in the market which kind of gives you a real-time calculation of the P&Ls. Yes, I'll be sharing the Discord details as well. So we'll talk about all of that. So the way I want to structure this meeting is I do understand that some of you guys have not used this platform at all. So you are very new to this. So I'm going to spend probably 15 minutes of my time quickly giving you an overview of the platform. But if you want to really know about all the features, there are actually 2 webinars, one in English and one in Hindi, both posted in FYERS YouTube channel. You can check them out. So there we kind of took a deep dive and did an introductory session. Today, we are going to spend little time on the basics and gonna a little more time on the new updates that we have done on the platform on top of those basic features. And then we're going to spend some good amount of time about talking about the new features that we are going to introduce that we have in our roadmap. And then we're going to have a Q&A session. So we're going to take up all of your questions, right? So thank you. If I'm not audible, let me know, okay? You guys can just let me know. So I will try to go slow. So this is the OptionDesk platform. The way you get to this platform is this platform right now is completely accessible to all the FYERS customers, right? So this is your FYERS screen, and I'm sure you have used it. So all you have to do to go to this platform is right click on the chart, and here in this menu, you will see Options Desk. You just need to click on Options Desk. It will automatically take you to this platform. It may ask you, if you are already logged in, then it will not ask you for another set of logged in. But if you are not logged in, then it will ask you to log in through your FYERS credentials, right? So that's how you get to the platform. That's the first part, right? And then once you're in the platform, what do you see here, right? So you see a platform which has a few tabs on the top, and you see a panel open in the bottom, right? And a few buttons in the bottom. Now we'll try and concentrate on the major features that you would like to concentrate, that you must be aware of. The first thing in the tab is called Options Chain, okay? So Options Chain, I'm trying to, okay. So this is the Option Chain. So the Option Chain has all the series that you know for the underlying. So we start with the top, okay? In the top, there is a search button where you can search any given underlying. So let me search for Bank Nifty, okay? So this is Bank Nifty. So first I'll search for Bank Nifty. Once I search for Bank Nifty, the entire platform now will only focus on Bank Nifty. Okay, so depending on what you choose on the top in the search bar, that particular underlying and its option contracts will be available in the platform at that point in time. So you can keep changing your symbols depending on what you need. But the moment you press on Bank Nifty, for example, like I've done here, you will see the Bank Nifty quote, the open, high, low, close, okay, which are important in the quote panel. And then you will get to the options chain panel here. Now, the options chain panel, you will see basically all the series associated with Bank Nifty, okay, option series, and it will also give you the number of days to expire. So the series which will expire tomorrow is supposed to be a very volatile expiry day. Then you have one expiring on 8 days, the weeklies, monthlies, you will find all of them here. Now, when you hover over these series on the right hand side, look at my mouse here, you will see some metrics which kind of gives you a good sense of whether it's a bearish or a bullish kind of a sentiment going on. So red is basically bearish and blue is bullish. Okay, so obviously we know that the market is right now in a bearish trend. The macroeconomic factors are at play. Tomorrow, how we need to keep a track of the S&P 500, etc. But for the purpose of this webinar, okay, so once you hover over this, you get certain important metrics which are at the level of this particular series. So what is the at the money implied volatility? What is the cumulative open interest? What is the max pain for this series? What is the PCR in terms of volume and PCR in terms of OI? So based on these parameters, we kind of give you a signal in red and blue, whether it's a bullish or a bearish kind of a pattern that is forming. Now, when you click on any of the given these small arrow buttons, it will open up the entire option chain. Okay, now I'm assuming all of you guys know what an option chain is. Okay, so I'll just walk you through some of the basic features of this options chain, and then we will kind of discuss the new updates that we have done to the options chain panel. Okay, so the option chain comes with these default columns. Okay, 5-6 columns. But if you right click, this is one of the new feature we added. Once you right click on any of the header, a menu will show up and you can add as many columns as you want. So we give you a total of 35 odd columns that you can 35 odd columns that you can choose from. This comprises of the bid, ask, volume, open interest change, all the Greeks, delta, gamma, vega, theta, and RHO, as well as implied volatility, both on the bid side, ask side, and the average. Okay, so we kind of give you, and then the mid price change. So we have all of it. So if you want to, for example, add the Greeks, I will just go ahead and just click on this. Okay, and the Greeks get added. As you can see now, I've added the thetas, the vegas, the gammas of the world. Okay, now once you do that, you will probably see that a scroller will come up because now it has extended beyond the viewport. So you can use the scroller to kind of scroll, but we have also added a new feature called auto fit. So if you have a small laptop and you have added a bunch of columns here, right, and you want to quickly see all of them, then we have given a feature called auto fit, which will automatically fit the entire columns in your viewport. So basically it will squeeze and kind of make sure that you have the best possible adjustment of the columns to give you the complete view. So this is the new feature we added called auto fit. Okay, this is a convenience feature. Okay, and then what we have done is we have also, now what we do is we allow you to kind of the app remembers the state of your options chain. So for example, if you are kind of using the cursor to kind of resize some of the columns, then the app will remember it. So next time when you refresh your browser, you will see your options chain in the exact same configuration as you had left it behind. So that's one of the features that one of the new features that we added, right? For the people who are new to this world, okay, so if you have to add any position directly from the option chain, there are a couple of ways. So you can click on the bid, okay, and it will ask you how many lots you want to add, and say I put one lot and put add. So this lot automatically gets added to your paper strategy. So this is a strategy builder. It gets added to your strategy builder. And under the paper column, you will see that amount, which is 25, which is the lot size of Bank Nifty, show up in the option chain, right? So you can now see the position that you have taken directly on the option chain, and these red and green marks will show you the PNL. So basically this is a tabular form of the payoff chart that you can see. So red means you are at the strike price, you will be in loss, but green means you will be in profit. So this is a normal call buy option, right, that I've taken, and the payoff chart obviously looks like this, right? But if you want to visualize it directly on the option chain, then you will just have to follow these red small bars across. Okay, so the red and the greens will show you basically at what level you will start making profit out of the strategy that you have taken or the positions you have taken in this particular series. Okay. So similarly, if you want to add a buy, so this was a buy position I added by clicking on bid. If you want to add a sell position, right, I just need to click on sell, right, and I'll add position. Okay, and this time it will show in red and it will show -25 because it's a sell. Okay, so now obviously quickly you will see that both the small green and red bars have changed because now the whole position has changed. It's more like a strangle that you have made or something, right? So a strangle kind of a backspread kind of a, you know, payoff chart will show up, and you will see that the same thing in the option chain. Okay, so the green is where you start making profit, the red is where you are in loss. Okay, and when you hover over them, it will also give you the PNL amount. So whether how much loss you are making if the strike price, if the underlying goes to this level. Okay, so that's the, in a very nutshell, how option chain works and how you can create positions, paper positions directly on the option chain. Okay, now another thing that you can do is if you want to directly trade from this option chain, then you have these buy sell buttons. Once you click on these buy sell buttons, this panel will show up, which is basically a trading panel where you can enter your trade either through a market order limit, stop limit. Obviously, you know how it works in FYERS. So it's basically allows you to directly trade from this position. Okay, this is probably useful when you want to quickly repair your strategy and you don't have time and the market is moving, very volatile market, you quickly want to change positions, then you can just click on this and just place your trades. Other thing that you can do is obviously you can right click on each of the records and you can go to add to trader. Is the same thing that we have seen, the buy sell buttons. The add to strategy is the same thing we did by clicking on the bid and the ask. So it will basically create a paper position rather than a real trade for you. Okay, symbol info will give you contract related information, and download to Excel will allow you to directly load the entire option chain to your desktop in the Excel format. Okay, so this in a very nutshell is how option chain in Gocharting works. Every position that you have taken will be shown here in the form of dots. So if you have taken multiple strategies, each strategy will be named differently and will have a color code associated with it. Okay, so that's how the option chain works. But by default, you will also see something called as a strategy builder panel open. Okay, now the strategy builder panel is basically where you have taken all the positions, right? So for example, as you could see, I have taken a paper position that I had taken, right? I just made a paper position, and that paper position had two legs to it. I added one buy call and one sell call. That's what I did. Okay, now for each position, so you will see all your strategies bundled up like this with a name and certain key metrics like the premium at a strategy level, gross PNL at a strategy level, and the Greeks at a strategy level. So when you hover over this Greek delta, you will see a lot of other parameters like delta, gamma, vega, theta, all in the form of a tooltip. Okay, now let me go ahead. So obviously you will have multiple strategies here, paper strategies as well as real strategies. So all the real trades that you take through FYERS will get clubbed under one strategy name called real, and it will have all the legs. So you can also track not only your paper positions but your real positions directly in this panel. Okay, so let me lift this panel up. So the entire UI is very, very flexible. Everything can be resized and can be customized per your need. Okay, so what did we do here in the in this panel, right? So we added few more things. So let me go through the basics and then I will quickly go over the new updates that we have done. So when I click on each of these strategies, the legs show up, right? And at a leg level, you can see, if it's in green, it means it's open. If this is in red, it means it's a closed leg. Okay, so right now both are open right now. So, and one is buy, one is sell. You can directly reverse your positions, flip the positions from here, or you can directly do it at a strategy level from here. So if I, for example, let's go to the payoff chart. Okay, this is my payoff chart. Okay, let me remove this one of the strategies that we had, short call spread. I'm going to remove. So this is the paper position that I had made just now before you. Okay, let me close this panel and I'll explain to you this panel in a while. So this is your strategy position that you had taken, that actually I had taken. Okay, and let me unlock. Okay, so let me place it the way I want it to. Okay, so this is your, let me clean it up a little bit. Okay, this is your payoff chart, right? So this is the payoff chart associated with this paper strategy that you had made. Okay, there is an option that you can keep adding more and more strategies, and you can decide whether or not you want to include them in this payoff chart calculation. So right now I deselected short call spread. Okay, but if I want, I can add it. Okay, just click on it and it will change accordingly. Okay, so all these new positions showed up. Okay, these will go away when I deselect it. Okay, so right now only the two positions that I had shown by this wedges is visible. So I had taken one call buy, which is in green, and one call C in sell, which is in red. Okay, so these are the two legs that I am concentrating on under the paper strategy. So first of all, if I don't want to call it paper strategy, but I want to call it differently, this is a new feature we added. You just need to hover over this strategy name and click on the button. Okay, the moment you click on this edit button, it will tell you rename strategy. So let me call it my profit maker. Okay, I'm just making a strategy here. So I'm gonna apply it. Okay, so now my profit maker shows up here. Okay, so my profit maker is the new strategy that I have created. I have the ability to flip the entire strategy. I can do it at a leg level or at a complete strategy level. So if I click on reverse, the entire, all the legs will get flipped. Then what I can do is, obviously every table in this platform is resizable. So you can click on any of these columns and resize it the way you want, depending on the dimensions of your computer. You can adjust it. Okay. Now, if you want to make some repairs, right? So right now I've taken this call sell at 37,300 and this buy at 37,900. But if I want to make some changes, I can directly click on this strike. Okay, and I can override this already default figure of 37,300. So if I don't know, what price I want to, you can use this plus minus button and it will automatically, take the right strike price, the next level or the level down, depending on what you want, based on the plus and the minus button. So once I make that edit, the entire payoff channel and everything gets edited. Okay, so this is what the strike price buttons do. Okay, now this size buttons also do a similar thing. So if you want to change the size, for example, right? So I had taken one lot. I want to make this buy two lots. I'll make that edit and you see the whole payoff chart will change accordingly. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and resize it to 1 because it is not looking very good. Okay, this looks much better. So I've taken one lot each of buy and sell of 2 calls. Okay, now the entry price is basically the price at which you enter the position. And again, if you want to back test, right? So suppose you had taken a trade 3 days ago and you want to simulate a similar kind of a situation, you can click on the entry and edit the entry price, and the PNL calculations will change accordingly. Okay, then at a leg level, you get the gross PNL, the IV, and the deltas. Okay, so this is what this lower table will do at every strategy level. Now at the top level, there are certain useful, convenient features that we have added. Okay, so for example, the plus and the minus buttons will actually increment the lot size of all the legs all at the same time. Okay, either increment or decrement. This rocket button or star button or whatever you want to call it, this button allows you to place a basket trade. So if I click on this button, okay, it will ask, do you want to confirm? When I place a basket trade, basically it is going to place a market order on all of these legs underneath your particular strategy. Okay, now what happens is, when you place their orders, right, we want to optimize the margin position. So what will the algorithm do is, it will automatically first push the buy orders, all the buy legs, and then it will prioritize the sell legs. So all the buy legs will get bunched together and will be pushed first to exchange, and then all the sell legs. This will allow you to optimize your margin position. Okay. So that's what the basket trade does. Now, once you've taken a basket trade, right? If you want to, for example, exit from a basket trade, you can directly go here and exit the positions. And when exiting, it will again do the opposite of what I did in the basket trade. So it is going to club the sell orders first and then the buy orders. Okay. So that's what this does. So right now I'm in paper mode, right? So you can make all these edits. In real mode, obviously, once you have entered a real position, you cannot change the strike price or the entry price, right? So it's kind of frozen. But this is on the paper mode. Okay. Now the square off button will allow you to directly square off your positions from here, right? So if I put on square off, it will ask square off. Okay. And I put confirm. Once I confirm, as you can see, all my positions were squared off. Okay. Now I have an exit price and a PNL. And you will see the markers here have turned to red. That means they are no longer open positions. They are now closed positions. So this is what the square off button does. Okay. The delete button will obviously delete the entire strategy like this. Okay. And so I kind of have this as a backup to explain. So now we'll talk about the short call spread. Now the short call spread is again, it's a very old strategy that I had taken. It's already expired. Let me create one more. So now here, if you want to create a strategy, like I've already explained, you can do it from the options chain by clicking on the bid and the ask, or yeah. But if you want to have like some custom strategies, right? Built-in strategy, some built-in strategies, there's a button called add strategy. It will give you a list of 40 built-in strategies. So every popular strategy that you can think of is already built in here. Okay, so you can directly choose from here. So for example, Iron Condor seems to be a pretty popular one in India. So once I choose Iron Condor, it will give you a drop down on the top, and you can choose which series you want to apply it on. Suppose I want to apply it on the series that will expire in 8 days from now. It's a weekly. So once I apply it, that directly all the positions will show up here. Okay, so you have 40 strategies that you can choose from. So if you click on this button, you will see bullish, bearish, volatility, and arbitrage. These are the 4 categories under which you will see all of these strategies built in. You can favoritize them. Okay, it will show up in your favorites if you don't want to go through all of them. Okay, this is just an example how you kind of work on it. Okay, so I've added this Iron Condor here, right? And I want to change the name. I can change the name if I want, but anyways, so this is my Iron Condor here. So here I'm at a, so this is at a strategy level. Okay, I'm getting to see that the premium is 2045. Okay, there's no gross PNL because the market is closed right now, but when it's open, you will see this gross PNL calculations happen real time. Okay, this is the first time in India that some platform is going to give you such kind of real time calculations on the web and mobile. Okay, and at the bottom you will see basically the cumulative premium across all your strategies. Okay, and the cumulative PNL of all your strategies. So that's how the strategy panel works. Okay, now there are 2 other features that we have just added. There are few features. If you want to clear all of them, you have the ability to clear paper, only the close. So there are certain options, but if you want to exit all your positions, you do have a convenience button here as well. Okay, now the new features that we have added is, one is called this view. Okay, another important parameter that we show is the POP. It is the probability of profit. You will see it in the payoff chart as well, but you will see it at a strategy level across all the strategies also. Okay, but one of the few new features that we have added is called view. Now what the view does is it will give you a formula. Okay, that defines this particular strategy that you have created. So any strategy, either from the built-in strategies or from the option chain that you create, the algorithm, the system will automatically assign a formula to it. Now, what is the use of this formula? I will explain later. Okay, how do you build a formula, something like this on your own, right? Through scripting is probably a more profound and deep subject that will require a separate webinar focused only on this. So I'm not going to go into this, but what I'm going to explain is every strategy in options chain that you create in the strategy panel, it will automatically get assigned to a formula. Now the formula, what you can do is you can save it, and once it's saved, it gets added to the saved templates. Okay, so I just added this iron condor. Now, what is the use of saving it? I'm going to explain in a while. Okay, just keep it for now in your back pocket. But what you can do is, so suppose I have this and I copy it. Okay, I've copied this formula to my clipboard, and for some reason, okay, I now want to use the same strategy not on Bank Nifty but on Nifty. What happens then? Okay, under normal circumstances, in normal platform, what you have to do is you have to first change the symbol to Nifty. Okay, then what is going to happen is, obviously you haven't created that strategy on Nifty, you had created in Bank Nifty, right? So you have to again go and select all the legs for Nifty. Now this is where this formula comes in very handy. You can just go to custom strategy, copy paste the same formula that you had added, okay, and call it Nifty Iron Condor, okay, and just add it. Once you add it, voila, the entire strategy that you had created in Bank Nifty, you are able to clone it in Nifty using this formula. So what it will do is, this formula is relative to where the underlying price is, right? Relative to where the underlying price is. Let's see where the underlying is here. Okay, the underlying is here. Okay, no, let's go to the one that will expire in 8 days. That's where we had created the Bank Nifty strategy. Okay, so relative to where the underlying is, it will take the legs relative to this position. So in Bank Nifty, we had created the legs, which was 2 levels below the strike price on the call side and 2 levels above the underlying on the put side. So exact same configuration it has taken, but now on Nifty. So the symbol has changed, but relative to the underlying position, it has automatically configured which legs to choose in your strategy. And that's how it has created now a Nifty Iron Condor, and you have just created in probably less than 10 seconds. Okay, so that's the one of the major advantages of this formula. Okay, or the save templates, because it's like indicators in a chart. Once you have saved it, you can apply it on any symbol as you want, and you can apply it today, you can apply it 10 days later, depending on now, for example, 10 days later, suppose this 17,000 becomes 18,000, right? 17,700. Now you have to readjust all the legs in other platforms, but here you can just use the same formula that you had created and apply it, and it will automatically adjust and create a new strategy with the same configuration as you want. Okay, so that's one of the big advantages of it. There's one more advantage, we'll talk about it a little later. So now you know how to, at least what to do with this view button, why this formula is used, and how to save this formula. Okay, and once you save it, right, you can directly apply it on this on the strategy panel by just clicking on this add button. Okay, add to strategy builder. So this is one of the advantages that you directly get out of this formula based options creation strategy, right? This module. So this kind of quickly wraps up some of the things that we added in the recent past. Okay, then we go to the payoff chart. Okay, so before we go to the payoff chart, let me quickly go over some of the, is it free for FYERS subscribers? I'll quickly go over some of the questions that have come. Yes, it is free as of now for FYERS subscribers, right? We are giving it out. So we had an initial 3 months free. So that 3 months actually ends by end of September. But what we have decided is, given the interest people have shown, right? We think whether we would like to extend this free subscription for all FYERS customers for another 1 month. So for the next 1 month as well, this will be completely free for you to come in and use. Please share Discord channel. Yes, I will. So basically, if you look at the bottom, right, in the bottom, there is something called support. You just need to click on this support and it will automatically take you to our Discord channel. You need to have an account in discord.com. It's like Telegram. It's like Telegram. And then using that same credentials, you will enter our support channel. Hello, I'm interested in knowing that after creating an intraday plus regular plus limit order, how do I create it above and above? Okay, I will go over some of these more complex questions later because I'm just covering the basics here. How to put a stop loss. The stop loss is something that you put before you place an order. So in paper position, you have already taken the order. But if you want to, again, Let me go to the option chain. When you put a direct trade through FYERS, it gives you the option. When you choose, by default, it will be intraday, guys. Okay. If you choose CO or BO, it will give you the option to put a stop loss or a bracket order, which will give you the ability to place a take profit or a stop loss. Okay. Now, when you place these market orders, right, it will basically use the default configuration, which is intraday. Okay. But if you want to place your orders, for example, this is a very important point somebody mentioned, and I would like to refer this. So if you want to, for example, change the product type, okay, to from intraday to margin. Okay. Some of the people had a question that, you know, some of their orders were getting rejected when they were placing a basket order. This is one of the reasons, because the default is intraday. You need to go and, for example, change it to margin. And once you change it to margin, there's something called a set default, as you can see in yellow. Okay, just click on this set default. Once you click on this set default, this becomes your default product type, margin. So all subsequent trades that you take on this platform will be margin. So to suppose I close it and now I again open this panel, okay, you will see margin is the product type as default. So it has changed. So this is how you can change the defaults directly, okay, before you start trading on FYERS. Okay, moving to the payoff chart. Okay, so we have already seen that we had created a iron condor. Now, from a UI standpoint, many people over the last 2 months said that we are so used to using some of the Indian platforms which have positions on the side panels. So we thought, okay, if you don't want to have it on the bottom like this, okay, let's give them the ability to do the same through the side panel. So anybody who is more keen on using this kind of a UI, you can use it. Okay, so this is the iron condor that I had made. Okay, let me go ahead and first show you the payoff chart details, and then probably use this side panel. It probably does the same thing as I have shown you on the using the bottom panel strategy builder, but it has a slightly different kind of a UI. Okay, and we kind of leave it to the users how they want to kind of which one they want to use it. Okay, so this payoff chart gives you this black line that you see is the PNL, which is in the right hand axis. There is PNL. Okay, this kind of gives you the PNL at expiry, and this is the PNL as of today. Okay, now here in the settings, you have something called as hover tooltip. Once you click on the hover tooltip, it will also give you basically, you know, all the important statistics. So what is the spot price? What is the on target date PNL? What is the, you know, what if analysis, and what is the on expiry date PNL? So this is how you kind of use the tooltip to kind of look at all the numbers here. It has a top header. Now this top header, we have kind of allocated it to be used for all the important metrics associated with this payoff chart. So whatever legs you have chosen within the payoff chart, for those legs, it will give you, you know, your complete PNL, your max profit, your max loss, your RNR, your POP, probability of profit, premium, and break even. Okay, so these are the metrics that are available currently. In the roadmap, we would like to add something called as margins. Okay, this will be an estimated margin, not a it will be an estimated calculation from Gocharting team. Okay, but obviously it will be directionally correct, but obviously it is more advisable to take a look at your own you know, broker's calculator before you place the order, but it will be directionally correct. So this is something that will be added in the near future on the header bar. Okay, now what you can do is now in the so the first button on the left kind of opens and closes this strategy builder panel on the sidebar. Okay, now the settings button is used to kind of add many different things to the chart. So for example, you can choose grids. If you want to have crosshair, you can use a crosshair. I don't like it. There's something called as Greeks. I'll show you that in a moment. You can remove the watermark, these markers. If you are not comfortable using them, you can get rid of them. Like now, if you want standard deviation, you know, things like standard deviation, then you can use this. So for example, we give you first standard deviation, second standard deviation, and the break-even points, right, in blue. So you have the ability to kind of add all of those markers here. And you also have the ability. So for example, this chart is completely interactive. So basically you can click on this y-axis and you can move it up and down. You can click on this x-axis strike price and kind of adjust it. But some people don't like this panning. So if you don't like all of that, right, you have the ability to lock it. So lock chart pane will kind of make it static. Now you cannot make those moves. Okay, so lock zoom and lock chart pane, chart pan will kind of lock the chart so that it is more static, and based on your preference you can choose what you want to do with it. Okay, on the left hand side there's an axis which kind of allows you to overlay the strategy Greeks. Okay, so if you want to see what is the Greeks, how it would shape like, as a line curve for your strategy, then I will choose this. So this curve, what is showing is this curve is giving you the gamma at various strike prices for your given strategy. Okay, now I want to see delta, I can use delta. I want to see vega, I can use vega. So I can use all these metrics as a overlaying. This is additional information for your reference and insight that you get out of the box on this payoff chart. Now I'm going to choose none. I'm keeping it very clean for now. Okay, so this is what you do. Okay, then this color, obviously you can change the colors if you want, if you're a fan of colors. Okay, now this what if analysis, this button will allow you to kind of do a what if analysis. So basically based on time, which is decay, volatility, and the underlying percentage change. So I can move this curve. Okay, let me go and let me make it like a dark theme so that it is more visible. Now you see this blue line, this is the what if curve. Okay, so you already are seeing, as days go by, okay, until the time of expiry, how your curve will finally move and become this expiry day curve. So between today and 8 days, which is the date of expiry, how your basically curve, PNL curve will move on every given day. That the effect of decay you can see here. Okay, now the effect of volatility is something that you can see by adjusting this slider. So when volatility goes up, the PNL is actually going to get more and more flat, as you can see. As volatility comes down, moves in the opposite direction and goes up in the negative direction, your PNL is going to shape accordingly, going to get steeper. So I'm just going to go ahead and reset this for now, and the underlying will basically move this top portion, which is basically the theoretical PNL that I'm showing here, on the top, will move accordingly. So this is how you can use the what if analysis bar. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of the what if analysis here. So if I click here, it gets added. If I click, it gets removed. Then show Greeks. Show Greeks is a new thing that we added. This will give you basically the strategy level Greeks at the strike price. Okay, at your current strike price. So you have the ability to see it either in INR or in decimal. So you click on in decimal, it will show it in decimal. In INR, it will show you the Greeks in INR form, right? So this is what it does. Then a drawing panel is there. For example, if you want to take some notes or you want to draw some lines, you can do that directly on this chart. Okay. And then if you want to clear all your positions, you can directly clear from here. But that's what the payoff chart improvements we have done. Okay, on the side panel, what you do is, let me get rid of all the strategies here. Okay, let me start how you start building. If you want to build from here on the side panel, how you do it. So first thing you will do is click on this add strategy. It will ask you to create a name for your strategy. Let's say it's numero uno, and I apply it. Once I apply it, then there are only two buttons to it, the add leg and the delete. So delete will obviously delete this strategy you created. Add leg will add legs to this numero uno strategy. So when I click on add leg, the option chain will directly show up sliding from left here itself. Okay, on the top you will get to choose whichever strategy series you want to choose from, right? So it is completely up to you how you want to choose it. So for example, so suppose I am here, right? So I choose the 30th September, so it's a 7th October one. Okay, and let me take a position here. When you hover over these small buy sell buttons open, but this will create positions only on the paper mode, not on the real trade, unlike the option chain in the other panel that you saw. Okay, so I create a buy. Okay, it directly gives me that, and then I create, for example, let me create a straddle. I think this is a straddle. Okay, so this is the straddle that we created using the strike price 17,800, a buy and a call. Sorry, a put and a call, buying a put, buying a call. So this is a simple straddle we created. Now this straddle will show up here, okay, and it will give you all the metrics that we have talked about. Now, when you hover over these strategies and these legs, some buttons will show up. This will actually do the same thing that I have explained earlier. You can add a leg to the strategy. You can basket trade all the legs within the strategy. You can square off the positions and you can delete the strategy. And the more button will show you basically a menu where you will see all the important metrics associated with this particular strategy. So all your strategies will keep getting added here, right, in the form of collapsible bars, and you can click on them and basically make any adjustments, repairs, close them out, trade, exactly everything that you could do. Pretty much, 80% of everything that you could do through the strategy builder, you can pretty much do it through this side panel. So that's what the side panel does. So that's so I have gone through options chain, I have gone through strategy builder, and I've gone through payoff chart. Okay, so now we are going to move to some other features that we have added. Okay, so on the top, when you are in option chain, right, this on the top gives you two buttons. One is called the strikes. Using the strikes, obviously you can choose how many strikes you want to see here. Okay, suppose this is by default at 40. I want to choose 6. So basically now only 6 strikes will show up, 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom of the underlying. Now you can make these adjustments here itself, depending on what is your size of screen or whatever is your focus area. Based on that, you can make this adjustments. Okay, so I have like 16 now. So this is what the strikes does. Let me make it 40. Okay. Now this other button kind of gives you 3 views of the same information that you saw in option chain. So the standard view is what we know of, right? The heat flow view, okay, kind of gives you the ability to look at all the series in the form of a 2x2 matrix, and I'm going to explain to you how. Okay, so this was already available in the previous version, so people who have already gone through this know about it. So basically this is the strike price, and now this on the left hand side gives you the calls, all the calls across all the series. So this panel, this column is giving you the call for the series that is going to expire tomorrow. Okay, this is giving me all the calls for the series that will expire 8 days from now. This is the series that will expire on 14th of October, and so forth. Similarly, on the put side, it kind of gives you the same view. But what is the number that you are seeing here? This is given based on this. If you click on this settings button and you go to options, right, there you can choose basically all the settings that you want to kind of configure your option chain. So here what I've done is, the heat map metric, by definition, I have given open interest. So it is giving you the open interest that is building up across all the calls and the puts across all the series. So you have the ability to change it to OI percentage or volume or gamma, theta, whatever you want metric, you can plot it. And so what you can see is at a series level, where the sentiment is moving. This is a heat map, and basically the cells which are intensely colored have a higher value, okay, compared to ones which are gradiently low in color. So it kind of quickly gives you on a heat map visualization of all the calls and the puts across all the series, given a parameter that you want to focus on, be it OI, volume, gamma, IV, whatever you want to choose. So that's what the heat map does. But we've now added a new feature called Straddle. Now, Straddle is basically a straddleized view of the option chain. So we have already seen the option chain, and you know what a straddle is. A straddle is basically a summation of the call and the put at the same strike price, right? So here on the top, again, I can choose the series I want. Suppose I want to again focus on the series which is going to expire in 8 days from now, right? So this is the series I am in, okay? This is the strike price for the series, okay? The next one is called LTP Straddle. What it does is basically it adds up the premium on the call side and the put side, okay? And that's what the price it is showing. So it is giving you the price of the entire premium for if you want to go into a straddle position, right? Then same thing on the bid side, same thing on the ask side. The decay is basically the change in value from yesterday to today for that given straddle. Okay. Cumulative OI is basically adding up the OI on the call and the put side. Average IV is all that we understand. The PCR value is basically a ratio of the put and the call ratio based on OI at that given strike price. Okay. Same thing, PCR based on volume. So takes the volume on the put side divided by the volume on the call side. Okay. Max pain, we already know what it is. And max pain, this magenta color is showing basically the max pain for this series, which is 17,700 right now. And you will probably see the same thing here appear in the options chain view. When I go to this standard view and I hover over this series, I see the same value max pain as 17,700. So the straddle view is basically giving you more data, but kind of finally the inference is pretty much the same. But the important thing why we add it is it kind of gives you the convenience to quickly add a straddle position to your strategy builder, instead of waiting on adding various legs. So here directly I can, so let me clear up my strategy builder for now to explain how it works. So let me clear it. So I have nothing here in the position. So I want to say take a position on 17,800. Okay. And I want to make a buy straddle. Okay. So for buy, like I explained, you have to click on bid. For sell, you have to click on ask. So I click on buy, one lot, add. The moment I add here, you will see that the paper position now took, the 17,800 CE and the 17,800 P. So I have a long straddle here that I've created at the click of a bid button, this bid sell. Similarly, if I want to take a short, I'll click on the ask. Okay, so this is the convenience that comes with this straddle view. If you are a straddle kind of a person who likes to work with straddles, this view kind of gives you a better visibility into your premiums, your total premium, your ask, your bids. You take a better position and quickly allows you to add your straddles here. So this is a special feature we added just for straddle. Now that we have completed this, we are going to go to the another module that we added called the Stratwatch. We'll take a few questions, guys, before we move on to the next. Okay. Can it possible to change color in Payoff Chart? Yes, it is possible. You have to go. The background can be changed today. If you want to change these colors green and red, maybe you can drop us an email to admin@gocharting.com, or you can join our Discord and add it as a feature request and we'll quickly add it. Should not be an issue. Straddle का प्रीमियम जो रिसीव हुआ है वो मूविंग एवरेज की तरह प्लॉट कर सकते हैं? This is the time series you are talking about, right? So the way I understand, Sandeep, is you are trying to say that basically you want a time series plot of all the straddle, right? And this is what the strategy chart panel will do. This is something that is work in progress. This is something that we are going to talk about. If I understand your question correctly, basically you want to look at the straddle premium across time. So what was the straddle premium of yesterday, day before yesterday, of the, that's what you want, right? And then you want to plot a moving average on top of it, right? Like a technical chart. This is what the strategy chart will do. This will allow you to create basically a complete technical analysis on your straddles, strangles, everything. Yes, you can deploy paper trade to live trade. Like I explained here, let's go to the strategy panel. Okay. As you can see, I have created this paper trade. Okay. Now I want to go to the live mode. All you have to do is you can create a direct basket order from here. Click on this button called basket market order, and it will ask you, hey, do you want to place it? I say confirm. Okay. The moment I confirm, you see it says order placement unsuccessful right now, because obviously I'm not connected to the market right now. Market is closed, but when the market is open, obviously it will go ahead and place the order for you. Okay. So option prices are getting updated after lag. So can I view the percentage change in the OI along with strike price? Yes, you can look at the percentage change in OI along with the strike price. So See, this is the standard view I was in. Okay. And all you have to do is basically right click here and you go and you select OI change and OI sense. Okay. Suppose I use OI sense, it will give you at a level at every strike price on the call side, whether it's a short build up, long build up, short cover, you know, all of that, the short cover or long unwinding. And the percentage change is here, you know, OI percentage change, and this is the OI. But if you want to see it in the form of a graph, you go to volume surface. Okay. Here in the volume surface, this is basically, let me clear up everything. So this is the default view that you will get in the volume surface, where it is showing you the volatility skew. So across strike price, which is in the x-axis, it is giving you the implied volatility, how is it shaping up for the series that you can choose on the top here. So I can choose if I want to shift to the one that will expire in 8 days, I click on 8 days and it is giving you a volatility skew. So this is called a volatility smile because it resembles a human smile. Okay. Now, here in the left, there's something called indicators. And here I can change from, say, you know, I can add more indicators to it, like a technical chart. So I can add open interest change, open interest, premium. Now the premium, I am giving you the call premium and the put premium and the straddle, okay, which is the black line, or the max pain. So all of that you can do through this volatility surface panel. Okay. And if you want to compare, for example, the volatility smile for different series, then you can do it using this button, which says the plus button. So here you can keep adding all the volatility smiles for the different series. So that is also another kind of analysis that you can engage in through this panel. Okay. Now we have taken some of the questions. I will move on to the next component that we have added called Strategy Watch. Now, what is Strategy Watch or Stratwatch is basically, you know what is a watch list, right? Today, as a trader, you know what is a watch list, where you can track a bunch of symbols, right? But in a watch list, you can add one symbol at a time and track one symbol at a time, or one script at a time. But what you really need as an option trader is the ability to track the entire strategy at a time, which is comprising of multiple legs. That's what you want to track in a watch list, right? Before you take a position into that strategy. That's what Stratwatch does. It is a watch list for your strategies. So these are the saved strategy. For example, I've added these strategies: covered triangle, synthetic long call, long straddle, and real. Real is basically, I don't think we need this. Okay. So these are the strategies that we have added, right? So what it does is basically, for this strategy called long straddle, which is given by this formula as I hover over this little dot. Again, like I explained, every strategy has a formula associated in this platform. It will give you what is the LTP, or basically the premium. Okay. And it will give you basically what was the open, high, low. Again, I can right click on it. I can get rid of open, high, and I can, for example, add pop and the Vegas and the Greeks. So what I've done is, at a strategy level now, okay, I have added these strategies: covered triangle, synthetic long call, long straddle, and I can now view the LTP, the premiums. Okay, I can view the change, percentage change, the ask, bid, the all the Greeks, and the pop, which is the probability of profit. Now, based on, you know, how these LTPs and premiums are moving, I can decide whether or not I want to add it to my strategy builder, right? So if I hover over it, it gives you an option to either add it to paper strategy, right? Paper trade, or real basket trade, like I showed you earlier, how you can place a real order, right, directly through FYERS, or delete it. So I'm going to, for now, because the market is closed, I'm just going to add a paper strategy. So I added a paper strategy, right? And as you can see, this synthetic long call that I have here got added to the paper strategy builder. Now the gross PNL calculation will continue here. So there is no gross PNL calculation here because you haven't taken the position, but you are only tracking it before you enter into a position. That's what this strategy Stratwatch does. It is a watch list for your strategy, right? And how do you add for example, a strategy to the Stratwatch. Again, this is another use case where, as I explained, the formula will come into the good use. So I add strategy. There's the built-in strategy, which I have already showed you, which are 40 odd strategies that you can add, right? Depending on what series you want, you can choose the series from the top and you can add it. But the saves templates is where I had added, if you remember, an iron condor, right? So I can now go and add this iron condor directly here, and it will start tracking iron condor strategy before I actually, place a position, a paper or a real position on top on it. So that's the other use case of this formula, right? Again, you can add it to a watch list, right? And now if I change from Nifty to Bank Nifty, it will automatically get adjusted to Bank Nifty LTPs and premiums. Okay, I hope I have been able to kind of get you at least the basics of the platform. Okay, so that's what a Stratwatch does. Now I'm going to spend 5-10 minutes walking you through some of the new features that we are going to come up with. One is called the options flow. The options flow will give you a real-time view of the flow of options that is happening across all the contracts in Nifty, okay, which is your underlying. And based on that, we'll give you a signal bearish or bullish. This panel will automatically give you a signal bearish or bullish that will be very helpful for you to kind of, take into account before you enter a position. So it will basically, take into account the cumulative OI of the strikes, of the call side, of the put sides. It will take care of many other parameters to finally kind of decide, whether or not the sentiment is bearish or bullish in the market today. So that's what the option flow will do. We are going to come up with something called as a screener. A screener is basically a scanner, which will allow you to kind of filter on all the stocks and depending on parameters, kind of choose which ones you want to focus on. Then the ledger is basically very similar to what you have in your dashboard here in the bottom in the FYERS trade. So you have the positions, orders, the holdings, all of that. So it kind of gives you the same information, my trades, my orders, my positions. These were some of the orders that I had placed earlier, which got cancelled, if you remember, because the market is closed. But this all shows up here. This is what basically ledger does. So options flow is a new panel that is going to come up with bearish and bullish sentiments based on real-time information generation of order flow on the option side. A screener, we all know what a screener does, right? And then the strategy chart will come. This will probably take a little more time, but the idea is you will be able to plot a technical analysis chart similar to this one, right? But now not using the symbol, but a strategy, a straddle strategy or a strangle strategy. All of that is possible here. And we will, over a period in time, try to kind of build in more additional features like, do a back test based on stop loss or take profit or some other, entry and exit position. If you were to kind of back test, that's what this panel will do. So this, in a very, very nutshell, is what we are going to, focus on in the next few months. Now I'm going to try and take up some of the questions. I've already answered how can you deploy a paper trade to live trade. Option prices are getting updated after a lag. Let us know, but we don't think there is any lag. We feel it's real time. It might be an issue of your antivirus or something on your computer side, but we generally have seen no lag at all. Can I view the percentage change in OI? I've already shown you that. Greeks ask, send us an email where you think the Greeks are not in position, but remember that the Greeks basically the Greeks are based on implied volatility, and our implied volatility exactly matches with the NSEindia.com. So it is exactly matching with NSE India, and so our Greeks should be more accurate than any other platform. Happy to address this. Will this video be recorded? Yes, it will be shared. Can you show the fee structure of the trial period? Yeah, so that's a good question. So we want to keep it very, very, affordable for the people at large. So we are looking at a range. I cannot give you the exact number right now, but depending on, what premium features we add, right? So obviously certain features will continue to be free, the basics, but there will be free premium features, and those premium features will cost something between 500 INR to 1000 INR, depending on the grades you take, like a gold, silver, something like that. I'm just keeping it a little high level right now because we haven't yet solidified on that piece from our internal planning perspective, but it will cost you as low as 500 rupees will give you most of the features. Option chain data real. Yes, it is a real time. This is the only platform that will give you real time option chain data. समझ नहीं आया सर कुछ भी. वेरी गुड. ये बहुत ही अच्छा सवाल है. इसके लिए हम आप हिंदी में एक वेबिनार है यूट्यूब चैनल में फायर्स के, आप उसको देखिए. We have explained everything in Hindi in that. सर यहाँ पर क्या लाइव ट्रीट कर सकते हैं क्या ऑप्शंस में? हाँ हाँ, लाइव ट्रेडिंग कर सकते हैं वो आप. जैसे मैंने के दिखाया, मैंने 2 पोजीशन लिए थे, वो मार्केट क्लोज था, इसलिए ऑब्वियसली वो पोजीशन एग्जीक्यूट नहीं हुए. मेरे माई ऑर्डर्स में आप देख सकते हो, यू कैन सी these are cancelled orders because the market was closed, but this is how you will basically be able to take positions. I missed some presentation points. No problem. We are going to kind of upload it. A recording of it will be uploaded to FYERS YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, you should go ahead and subscribe to FYERS YouTube channel. Options flow, when we'll get, sir? Yeah, we'll try to get it in the next few weeks, say 3 to 4 weeks. That's our target. Let's see. We are almost there. Options flow. Everybody asking about options flow. Yes, in the next few weeks. Yes, we can definitely add this. So if you can add the break even required. So the break even and everything that you talked about, right? We already have it in the top bar. Okay. The top bar kind of focuses on every strategy or legs that you have chosen using these tick marks, and which is being considered in the payoff chart. So the overall calculation of max loss, max profit, and pop and break even, this takes into account only the legs or the strategies that you have chosen through by using these check marks, right? Like this toggle buttons. So that's why we kind of added it to the top bar rather than on the left side, because on the left side we are having basically a bunch of all the strategies here. Some of it you may be tracking, some of it you may not be tracking and maybe deselecting, right? So that's why we kind of did not add this on the left hand side, we added it on the top. Any plan Gocharting providing algo flow in the near future? Can you explain algo flow? You mean the ability to create algo strategies, right? Is that what it means? I'm not sure what it means, but I'm assuming that's what it means. The link in FYERS trade homepage, you will get the link here in the FYERS chart. Okay, you have to right click here on the chart and on the menu go to OptionsDesk. It will directly take you to our platform. So update real time, but I heard exchange update in 3 minutes. So the open interest is the only parameter that the exchange updates every 3 minutes. The price and the volume updates real time. So what you will see here is that the price and the volume in the options chain, the price and the volume in the option chain will update real time, but the open interest, which you are right, updates 3 minutes, will actually get updated every 3 minutes because that's how the exchange sends us. Yes, option chain is auto refreshed. You don't have to press any button and refresh it. No. Option flow much important, so asked. Yes, definitely we understand the demand for this particular feature. We are almost there. Multi-strike OI trend. So this is again something that will come under the strategy chart. Strategy chart will address this requirement as well. Sir, kindly explain PCR, how we can use. So the trading part of it, how you use PCR to trade, is probably a separate topic that we are happy to address. But may require some more, deep dive into the basics and theories rather than just on the software or the platform itself. So I'm going to park it for now. Maybe we'll address it in our next session, which will be more focused towards option trading rather than the platform. Do I have the facility to deploy risk management on my deploy strategy? So when you say, basically what you are trying to tell me, if I understand correctly, is most people want to create a take profit and a stop loss on your strategy rather than on your leg. That's what you want, right? This is something, this is an aspirational feature we have in our back pocket. We are not going to talk about it right now because we haven't completed the development yet, but we do have something of this sort in our long-term roadmap. Your ability to actually place from your strategy panel, you will be able to not only, for example, right now, you can, when you trade, when you place an order, you click on trade and each leg you can place a take profit and a stop loss. But what an option strategy trader really needs is the ability to place a stop loss and a take profit at a strategy level. So at a strategy level, if the total PNL of the strategy goes below a point or goes above a point, you need to quickly close all the legs. So that is one feature that we it's aspirational because we are working on it, and I cannot commit to it, but this is something in our long-term strategy map. Is it possible to show OI data directly on chart price? So right now, this panel does not give you the price chart, right? For price chart, you have to go to the FYERS panel, right? But maybe in the future, when we add the strategy chart panel, maybe we will allow you to do something of that sort. रिपेयर स्ट्रेटेजी मॉड्यूल कब आएगा? सर रिपेयर स्ट्रेटेजी मॉड्यूल आ गया है, आपको रिपेयर जो भी करना है यहीं से कर सकते हो, आप इन बटन्स को दबा सकते हो, साइज, स्ट्राइक, एंट्री, या कहीं पे भी लेग्स आपको ऐड करना हो डायरेक्टली आप ऐड कर सकते हो. फॉर एग्जांपल टुडे once you want to place another position, say I'm making it up, say you want to place another leg, it will ask you, for example, do you want to place it in paper or do you want to place it in some of the other strategies that you have added? So you can directly add a leg to a particular strategy, delete a leg, everything you can do directly now. You don't have to wait for another module here. 30-day challenge continue. Okay, so these are the questions that we have. Actually, there are 77 questions. Does it show margin required for basket order? This is something that will get added in the next 2 or 3 weeks directly here, sir, madam. So when you place the paper position here in the payoff chart, it will also give you the margin, and it will be an estimated. I'd like to make it very clear. This will be a margin calculation done by Gocharting. So it will be an estimated approximate calculation. It will be directionally correct, but it is always advisable to check with the FYERS margin calculator page before you place the order, but it will be, approximately correct. I'm interested in knowing that after creating an intraday regular plus limit order, how do I create above and lower exit points with limit? This is something that will require some deep level diving. For example, creating an intraday plus regular plus limit order. I'm trying to understand this. Could you send this email question, Harsh, to our email? We'll have some of our experts answer this to you right now. Okay, just send it to admin. This is our email address. We're happy to address these some kind of questions which basically a trader might be knowing how to address. I'm probably not competent enough to answer this, but I'll have some of our experts answer this to you.
Sure, you can add this email ID to the chat as well. That will be
yeah. Yes. Okay. Can you display amount of margin required? Yes, this is what we will going to show here in the top. Somewhere here. This is one of the reasons we pushed all these buttons which were earlier in the top to the side panel, because we wanted to create some more space here to show you the margin information, especially in a smaller laptops. Yeah, so I think we have pretty much covered all the basics, right? Like I've already provided you my our email address, and I have already showed you how to join our support channel, right? So we can continue these conversations. These very specific. There are some people have very specific requirements, which I would need our experts to review before we give you the correct answer, right? So that's why we will take some of these additional questions either over email or through our chat, through our Discord server. Okay, I think we kind of touched upon everything that we wanted to. The new updates we made to the existing components, the new components that we are going to introduce, and this, will option chain of MCX be available? Yes, this is also something that we have in our roadmap. I'm not able to commit a date for both MCX and the Forex USD INR option chain, but we do have something. We are making, progressive steps to get to that point.
Sushant, please share the Discord channel link as well in the chat.
Yes,
I can see that many are asking for that.
So you have to first go and create an account on discord.com, which is very similar to like Telegram. Okay, and then you can go ahead and using those credentials enter our Discord channel. Is it only FYERS platform you are updating all updates or some other? Yes, follow us on Twitter. Twitter. The rate of Gocharting. So which channel? So the Discord channel looks like this. Okay, the Discord channel will look like this. So there are various channels in the left hand side, as you can see, and there is one called OptionsDesk. Here, OptionsDesk. Here under OptionsDesk, you can basically provide all your inputs, feedback, all your suggestions, and feature request. Anything you have in mind, you can put it here with screenshots and everything. Okay. So Shubham, is there anything else that I am grossly missing?
Yeah, I think Sushant, we have covered pretty much. I mean, entire points are all the points are already covered. So yeah.
Yes. So all I can say is many new features are going to get added. We are going to make it look more prettier and beautiful, and we are going to also start focusing on the mobile versions very soon. So more to come. Okay. Thank you everyone. So Shubham, I'm signing off.